everybody. It's a nice day for today. A beautiful day. So for our book today, I already told you Martin Luther King Jr., right? So they were black, and now is Rosa Parks. Let's see, yes. Rosa Parks is also African American, but she's before Martin. So she's older, but Rosa, so let's start with the story. Rosa Louise McCloy was born in Tuskegee, Alabama on February 4, 1913. Her father, James, was a carpenter. Her mother, Leona, was a teacher. When Rosa was about 2 and a half, her mother and father were separated. Rosa moved to Pine Level, just outside Montgomery, Alabama. There she lived on her grandparents' farm with her mother and little brother Sylvester. Beyond the farm, the world was not such a safe place. Some white people living nearby belonged to a group called Ku Klux Klan. They wore white robes and hoods to cover their face. Many times, Klan members set fire to the house where black people live or church that they prayed. The police did nothing to stop the attack. So here, Ku Klux Klan. They're so mean. I think. Ugh. A weekly planter named Moses Husson would hire black children to pick and chop cotton. He paid them 50 cents a day. The children usually didn't wear shoes, and the hot ground burned their bare feet so badly they picked the cotton on their knees. If any blood was on the white cotton, they would be wiped. Even so, Rosa did not mistrust all white people. There was an old woman in Pine Level who used to take her bass fishing. This woman was kind and polite to Rosa and her grandparents. She treated them all as equal. There were a white soldier who always patted her head whenever he came to town. As she grew old, Rosa began to pity the whites who called her name or threw rocks at her. She wanted to forgive, not hate much people who insulted her. Much of the time, Rosa was happy in Pine Level. She loved school. She couldn't wait for each day to begin. She also enjoyed Mother Goose nursery rhymes, playing hide and seek with her friends, and looking after her younger brother. In 1924, when Rosa was 11, her mother sent her to live with relatives in Montgomery in Alabama, state capital, so she could go to a better school. It was an industrial school for girls. The school had been started by white Northerners to help black girls. The head of school, Alice White, was both strict and loving. Rosa adored her. From Mrs. White, she learned to respect herself. She would not set logos for herself just because she was black. So this Miss White, I think that's really friendly smile. One day, Rosa was walking through a white neighborhood. A white boy on a roller skater sped by, slammed into her. He was trying to shove her away from the sidewalk. She turned and pushed him back. The boy's mother was standing nearby. She told that Rosa would be put in jail for what she had done. However, in Rosa Parks' My Story, Rosa later wrote, "So I told her that he had pushed me, that I didn't want to be pushed. Seeing that, I wasn't bothering him at all." In 1928, the school forced closed. Miss White went back home to Massachusetts. However, she stayed in touch with Rosa, who considered her a loving teacher and dear friend. And then Rosa's grandmother got sick. After her grandmother died, Rosa's mother became ill. Again, Rosa was there to help. She was not happy leaving school, but she did not complain. To make money, she cleaned houses for white people. Sometimes that wasn't enough, so she stand on street selling fruit. Rosa was work hard. So here's the picture of Rosa selling fruit, maybe an apple. Rosa was 18 when she met Raymond. He was 28 and working at a barber shop. In Montgomery, a friend introduced them. Rosa was impressed by how smart he was. Raymond had much schooling, but he loved learning. Like Rosa's father, Raymond's father had been a carpenter. He had died falling off a roof when Raymond was a little boy. His mother, who had taught him to read and write, died when he was a teenager. Since then, Raymond had been in his soul. Raymond talked a lot about lives and blacks in the South. On their first day, Raymond took Rosa for a ride in the shiny red sports car. On their second date, he proposed. 2 years later, in December 1932, they were married in Pine Level. That's so beautiful. Raymond continued his work for Scoutsboro Boys. The men he held meeting in the park's front room. Rosa never forgot their first meeting. The men brought guns, and they felt needed to protect themselves. What they were doing was dangerous. In 1941, Rosa got a job as secretary at an Army Air Force base in Montgomery called Maxwell Field. President Franklin D. Roosevelt had forbidden segregation at all United States military bases. So Maxwell Field was ensuring blacks and whites work together. But when Rosa left the base, she had to ride home on a bus. Blacks had to sit in the back, as you know. It was unfair and made her deeply angry. Rosa Parks was a quiet person, but the anger lived inside her. World War II ended in 1945. American soldiers returned home. Rosa's brother, Sylvester, was among them. Sylvester returned to Alabama but found it too hard now to insult and threat of white races. He and family moved north to Detroit, Michigan, something I can't read. He begged Rosa and Raymond to join him there. Rosa visited Detroit. Yes, it was amazing to see blacks sitting next to white on public bus, but many other way, Detroit is not much different from Montgomery. Rosa and Raymond decided again moving north. Life did not get easier for Rosa. Raymond's health was so bad that he could not earn money much. Rosa's mother was living with them now too. Rosa cleaned house for white people. She also did sewing at a tailor's shop and later on a department store. One afternoon, Rosa had paid her fare and got on a Cleveland Avenue bus. The bus was very crowded. In the rear, black people stood tightly pressed together. Some had to stand in the back stairs, so Rosa got on the bus through the front door. She was moving back when the driver ordered Rosa to get off the bus. He wanted her to get back on again through the rear door. I forgot to show you this shuttle. title is about the bus. So this is driver front doors, and that is white section, black and white section, back door, and black section. So you can sit whenever you want. You can sit at the black or white and white section, but I think not many people usually sit there. Rosa refused. Why should she get off the bus just to get on again? The driver told her that she had to better obey him. Still, Rosa did not move. The driver stopped the bus. He grabbed her by her coat and began yanking her along. Get off my bus, the driver shouted. Finally, Rosa did, but she made her point. Like she was little, In 1954, Rosa made an important new friend, Virginia Durr. Virginia Durr was a white woman who born and raised Birmingham, Alabama. Growing up, she had been taught that white people were better than black people. Virginia's idea began to change. She took classes with black students. She had meals at the same table as black students. Later, she married a lawyer named Clifford Durr, who believed in equality for black people. Virginia worked with Black Women's Group. She also part of a prayer group. It was the prayer groups that Virginia and Rosa became friends. The new friends had so much to say to each other. Oh, Virginia was beautiful. And that's Rosa. And that's Clifford. Virginia husband. Virginia helped Rose attend a 10-day training workshop at a school called Highlander in Montego, Tennessee. Rosa was excited about going to Tennessee for a workshop. In July 1955, she took a leave of absence from a tailoring job. One of Virginia Durr's daughters loaned a suitcase, and off she went. The workshop was an eye-opener for Rosa. Miss Rosa? So many. Okay, now. On Tuesday, December 1, 1955, Rosa left work a little bit before 5 o'clock. She walked down to Port Square to catch the Cleveland Avenue bus. She got on and paid her fare. Only then did she realize who the driver was. It was the same driver who had tried to drag her off the bus. You should listen to this part carefully. This is amazing. 12 years before, his name is Jim Blake, said nothing and sat down in one of the seats reserved for black. Rosa said nothing. Wait a minute. Yes, Rosa said nothing. Soon the bus filled up. There were no more seats in the white section. A man had noticed and Blake caught Rosa, the other black people sitting on that row. Move, yelled. I want those two seats. At first, no one stirred or spoke. Blake's voice got louder. Y'all better make it light on yourself. Let me have those seats. The man and woman in Rosa's row got up. Rosa let them pass, but she did not get up. Later on, she said that she stayed seated because the more we gave in complaint, the worse they treat us. The driver marched to Rosa. Are you going to stand up? He snarled. No, Rosa's voice was quiet but firm. Well, I'm going to have you arrested, he said. You may do that, Rosa replied. Everyone on the bus was silent. Rosa thought her grandfather was shot and his shotgun. She thought about all this for so many years. She felt as had to shred off her ancestors with her. She made her choice, and she was sticking by it. The driver went to call the police. The police car pulled up a few minutes later. The officer took Rosa off the bus. They didn't handcuff her, but they did not hurt her. To Rosa, they seemed tired. They didn't want to deal with minor crime, but they took Rosa to the police desk at City Hall. Yes. She was book and fingerprint. When she asked to drink from the water fountain, she was told it for whites only. She wouldn't have to wait until she got to jail. All Rosa wanted to stay in her seat. Now she was in jail. In the dark, she was led down a long dark hall to put in a cell. She was allowed to make one phone call, so Rosa called her mother. Her mother was very worried. She wanted to know if Rosa had been beaten. Rosa said no. Raymond Parks borrowed a car and went to get Rosa, but this time other people knew about Rosa's arrest. Rosa bailed to $100. Rosa and Raymond did not have that much money. Neither did Virginia and Clifford Durrell. Luckily, Edgar Nixon from the NAACP was able to pay the bail. Rosa was released. The first person Rosa saw was Virginia Durham. Virginia was just happy to see what at least Rosa wouldn't handcuff. The two friends hugged tightly. Oh, that's so sweet. It's friendship. So then now on, no more people riding or going to bus. Now the question was, on Monday, would black people ride the buses or not? On Monday morning, Rosa was nervous. She peered out of the window. An empty bus rolled down Cleveland Avenue across town. On South Jackson Street, two empty buses went by. Soon the streets were packed with black people walking to school, factories, or downtown to their jobs. They were happy to do their part. Children and black neighbors chased after the empty bus. "No riders today," they cried. Many whites were angry. Blacks were fired from their jobs. Rosa was among them. The owner of the barbershop where Raymond worked part-time said he could fire anyone who talked about a boycott. In December 5, 1955, Rosa Trail began. Jim Blake, the bus driver, was led with to whiteness or something. They lie, sitting there, having the empty seat in the back. Rosa refused to take. Rosa did not present her side of the story to the judges. Her lawyer did not want her to. In fact, he wanted to be found unguilty. Why? Because then her case could have higher court. Only a higher court had been empowered to end the bus rules. In December 1956, the black community of Montgomery was ready to get back on the bus, but this time they did not have to ride in the back. Along with reporter and photographer from Look magazine, Rosa got on Cleveland Avenue bus. Jim Blake, the same driver who had arrested, was at the wheel. Rosa ignored him. She sat in the front seat and the reporter snapped her picture. The photograph is the most famous picture ever taken of her. Rosa Parks was now a hero. Rosa received more hate mail and 3 turning phone calls. Raymond began to sleep with a loaded gun nearby. No one wanted to hire her. Blah, blah, blah. This is not... President Lyndon Johnson... Rosa's private life was not so much happy. Raymond died of cancer in 1977. 3 months later, Rosa's brother died of the same disease. her mother was old and frail and had to move to nursery home. As she got older, Rosa Parks' achievements were more widely recognized. In 1979, she was given by Spring Guard Medal by NAACP. In 1996, President Bill Clinton awarded her Presidential Medal of Freedom. And Rosa had retired in 1988 at the age of 75 with the help of writer named Jim Haskin. She wrote a book about her life. It was called Rosa Parks, My Story, and published in 1992. On October 24, 2005, Rosa died at the age of 92. Before her funeral, her coffin was brought to Capitol Building in Washington, D.C., so people would come and pay their respect to Rosa Parks. It was the first time a woman had been honored in that way. And 1,000 people attend Rosa's funeral. She was buried in the cemetery in her adopted city of Detroit. This is so good book. I kind of love this book because it tells how brave woman is. They have to be brave, and I think Rosa Parks is brave. So, if you like this video, give it a like. Bye for now.